Jalen Suggs was a hyped prospect entering the NBA. For most of the draft cycle, he was viewed as the consensus number 4 prospect in the draft behind the big three of Cade Cunningham, Evan Mobley, and Jalen Green. However, Suggs went 5th in that draft to the Magic, as the Raptors chose to take Scottie Barnes over him, which has proven to be the right pick. Suggs hasn't had the start to his career that many expected. He hasn't become the cornerstone player that the Magic expected, as Franz has taken that spot from him. But this season, I think he's proving he has a real role with this Magic team, and he's better than you think. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I'd really appreciate if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'm notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the 2 best ways you can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Anyways, let's talk about Jalen Suggs. Through his first 2 NBA seasons, Suggs has been underwhelming compared to expectations. 10.8 points per game, 3.3 rebounds per game, and 3.6 assists per game on 38.7, 27.1, 75.2 splits, and a 48.7 true shooting percentage. Entering the NBA, Suggs was viewed as a potential two-way starter due to his athleticism, playmaking, perceived scoring upside, and defensive ability. However, he did have flaws that I feel like the mainstream media kinda ignored. His handle wasn't great, and he wasn't a good shooter. He had one outlier 7 for 10 from 3 game in college. However, after that game, over his next 26, he's at 29.5% from 3 on 3.4 attempts per game. So, I still thought he was a top 10 prospect because of the playmaking field, the athleticism, defensive ability, and the motor, but I didn't see the top 4 guy that most did. Now, I will say that I feel like his struggles in his first 2 seasons mostly had to do with injuries. I think his numbers would look slightly better if he didn't have to deal with the inconsistency with his rhythm and game speed reps, but the handle and shooting concerns were evident. At the same time, his passing and defense were positives through those struggles, and I've been really impressed with his start to year number 3. Through 12 games, Suggs is averaging 12.4 points per game, 4 rebounds per game, and 2.8 assists per game, as well as 2.1 steals per game on 41.2, 34, 82.5 splits, and a 54.5 true shooting percentage. While these numbers aren't super impressive, I've been really impressed when watching the tape. And it really starts with his defense. Suggs has been incredible on defense to start this season and has always shown signs of being a positive defensive player early on in his first 2 seasons. Most recently, he locked up Tyrese Halliburton, who's been incredible to start this season as the engine of the best offense in the NBA. He matches up really well with opposing perimeter stars. He's really athletic. He's really physical at the point of attack. He's a high field defensive player. He has a high motor, which is the most important part, in my opinion, of being a great defensive player. His hands are active, decent shot blocker. Those are things that don't show up in the box score. He's one of the main reasons the Magic have been the best defensive team in the NBA to start this season. What he's done defensively is why I believe he's been better than what his overall numbers might suggest, which is something that's very common with defensive-minded guards. Now, offensively, he is definitely an up-and-down player. He takes some ambitious shots, he's inconsistent as a shooter, he can be a bit out of control, but at the same time, when I look at the positive offensive games with him, especially this season, he does have positive traits as an offensive player. He's a really good connecting passer. He has natural feel as a playmaker, really good vision, pretty accurate as well. does have a bit of a flair for the dramatic, and it does get him in trouble sometimes. But I do feel like his creativity is relatively good. He was a quarterback in high school that was highly regarded, 4-star recruit. If I had a penny for every time I watched his college tape and heard the announcers talk about how he was a quarterback in high school, I would be really rich right now. But I do think his play on the football field in high school is a big reason why those fast pace, on the move and transition passing games are very natural to him. And I do think the handle has gotten better since entering the NBA, although I still think he's more of a connecting playmaker rather than someone with primary upside. Now, Suggs is inconsistent as a shooter. I do think he's gotten better. It's not like you can leave him on an island, and I do believe that being a guy that you just can't leave open all the time is the baseline for being a starting level guard in the NBA, but he's still very streaky as a shooter. He'll have nights where he's lights out from 3. He will have nights where he bricks almost all of them. The confidence with him is there. It's not like he's ever been afraid to shoot the basketball or take big shots, but that confidence is a double-edged sword. He can be a positive, someone that helps you get back in the game or helps you extend the lead in a game. He can be the guy that also shoots your team out of games. You would like to see him be more consistent as a shooter. I believe that would raise his value as a player. But considering he's a complementary option, that's not going to be the highest usage guy, and also what he does as a passer and defender, sometimes you guys are just going to have to live with what he is as a 3-point shooter. I say this as someone who's watched this player in particular for his entire NBA career on my favorite team, the Boston Celtics. When I was writing the script for this video, I kind of realized I was saying a lot of things I say about Marcus Smart. And I think Jalen Suggs is very similar to Marcus Smart. I know it sounds lazy, just comparing a great defensive young guard to not only one of the best defensive guards, but one of the best defensive players of his generation. But when you really look at it, it oddly lines up. They put up similar numbers as freshmen in college. They both were consensus second-team All-Americans and first-team All-Conference as freshmen. They were similar age when they entered the NBA. Suggs was a bit older for a freshman, and Marcus entered after his sophomore year. They went in similar spots in the draft. And Suggs' numbers in terms of career stats in the NBA so far are similar to what Marcus's numbers in the NBA have been. They even have some similar strengths and flaws. Both are high motor guys that make those hustle plays that don't show up in the box score. They both are physical defensive guards. Both have clear playmaking intangibles. Both are capable of positive offensive games. Both profile more as complementary options rather than primary options. But both are also inconsistent in terms of shooting consistency and shot selection. Both are players that can get a bit out of control at times and let the emotions get the best of them. It's not a one-to-one comparison. I think Smart has better versatility in terms of the positions he can defend and is a bit stronger even if Suggs is really strong himself. But it's kinda undeniable how similar those two are. Jalen Suggs may never be a 25-point per game scorer. He may never be the future star people thought he was entering the NBA. He may not be what you expect from a 5th overall pick. He may not live up to those types of expectations. He may not be the most efficient player or have eye-popping numbers. But he's an important player, one the Magic should prioritize long-term. Guys like Suggs are vital to building a potential contender. A guy who may not put up big numbers, but he impacts the game in so many other areas. The glue guy on your team. The heart and soul of your team. The one that the other players on the team look at and watch his energy and try and match it. I think Suggs can be this new generation's version of Marcus Smart. a guy that does the little things, can occasionally be a big offensive threat, and you live with the ups and downs of the scoring because of what he does as a passer and especially what he does defensively. Suggs might not be the Chauncey Billups or Jason Kidd level player that some thought he would be entering the NBA. But he's showing that he will be an impact player for a very long time, and hopefully that's for the Magic, because I think the Magic are building something special. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Let me know what you think about Jalen Suggs in the comment section below. Do you think he's a long-term piece for Orlando? Do you think that maybe they should trade him? What do you think he will be moving forward? Have you been impressed by his start to the season? What do you think he needs to work on? Love to hear all that down below. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.